If you take Screeching Weasel and Descendants and Motley Crue and roll them all up in a ball and just roll it down the street, that's Bowling for Soup.
Okay. I like it.
1, 2, 3, go!
Hi all, welcome to Punkio. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I have Jaret from Bowling for Soup on, and we have Danny from A Few Too Many, and of course, the good old Tom. How are we doing, guys? You all right?
Doing good, yeah. The good old Tom. Good, I like that. That's very southern United States. It's good old Tom.
Brilliant. Love it. Yeah.
I'm like a reliable, dependable pickup truck. That's how I like it.
You're the guy that can fix the pickup truck. You know.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I don't know what we're gonna do. This thing ain't motoring up. You're gonna take it over to good old Tom.
I got a spanner. I got a red. I hit him. It's just something happened. I hope.
Oh dear.
I'm changing your name in my phone to good old Tom.
Good old Tom. Oh.
Please don't change it to mechanic. My friends will be ashamed of me. They'll be like, "You don't even do your own car. You don't even know your engine from your wheel."
Well, nobody does anymore, right? They make
true.
It
yeah, yeah, very true. There we go.
It is true. I do struggle sometimes. There is an engine. There is a wheel. They do look similar, in my opinion.
Well, yeah.
It's very difficult.
No, it is.
So many circles, so many spheres.
Yeah, exactly. Make them different bloody shapes, for God's sake. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. There we go.
Needs to be like IKEA with like.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, an instruction manual coming with the car. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And Allen keys. That's what the other thing we need there is Allen keys. Just to kind of tighten everything up there. There we go. That should be old and reliable, dependable Betty right there. She's all done with 15 Allen keys from IKEA.
That's it. Yeah. There we go. There we go. All right, Jaret. I'd love to know how you originally started the band, etc. Was it yourself that started it, or?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was. I mean, we were from a pretty small town, and music was kind of like the only thing to do to keep you out of trouble. And so our original drummer and I, Lance, who played with us for about 4 years in the beginning, we had a band that was doing really, really well there locally. And Chris and Eric had a band that was doing well. And both of us kind of disbanded at the same time and just joined forces. And, it was a bigger idea, really. At first, it was like I wanted to be the punk rock Beatles, and so if you get our first couple of records, the independent ones that are on Spotify and everything, but Eric sings a lot more back then. So the idea was to have more than one singer, and he actually used to stand in the middle, like it was a much different look back then. But we just kind of evolved into playing shows and doing more of the songs that I was writing, and that sounded better just with my voice or whatever. And he obviously Eric, one of the greatest back vocalists of all time. So everything just worked.
Sweet. Okay. Interestingly, who were your kind of influences? Because you kind of were at the same stage where all of these other bands were coming through. Yeah. Who were your influences then? Yeah.
So it's funny. We all grew up listening to different things, and there really wasn't a pop punk per se, but 80s metal was very influential to us. I mean, Motley Crue and Rat and, bands like that. Whereas if you go back and listen to those early songs from those bands, they're just punk rock songs, and they put guitar solos in there, and they've got long hair, and they set shit on fire. It's like it really is. They're sort of influenced by the same things that the original what you guys would call first wave punk were influenced by, and that's just sort of the direction that they went. But really, after and playing in metal bands, while I was in school and stuff, but. Then, when I first heard the Descendants, and really started to pay attention to the Ramones, and really everything changed for me then. And then I heard Bad Religion, and then you had, bands that were coming up early doing the thing, like, really early Green Day and things like that were coming out about the time that we were doing that original band. So Screeching Weasel, those things like that. So if you take Screeching Weasel and Descendants and Motley Crue and roll them all up in a ball and just roll it down the street, that's Bowling for Soup.
Okay. I like it.
Only we're funny,
Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. Amazing. All right, well, just jumping on to Danny. How's everything going with A Few Too Many, pal?
Oh, it's been... this year has just been absolutely insane. Like, since we, joined the roster of Lost, like...
Yeah.
The last few months have just been... Like, I can't even talk. It's just... Yeah, it's crazy. Like, some of the stuff that happened with Rock Sound and, on Alternative Press, like, these were things that I dreamt of ever since I was, like, in my teens. So it's just been an absolute honor and a privilege, and, I'm really happy with, where the band is at the moment. Definitely.
Well, I say it was a pleasure to meet you guys and see you live, because you were absolutely awesome, and I look forward to seeing you grow and see you again soon.
I think the one thing I have to say as well, when everything with Rock Sound and AP came up, it was just one of those moments where I was like, I'm so happy, not just because you guys are epic at your music, but just from like a friendship level, just to see your friend progressively like, you've done what you've dreamed of.
Yeah.
And now we just need whiskey.
So proud. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's good when your friends win, man. Like that's the thing, right? Like,
defo.
I think that's one of the things that I think Danny does really well in the pop punk networking group is that we're in there everybody's in there all together. People are like, "What the fuck are you doing on this website, Jaret?" And I'm like, "I like it. I like it. I like the interactions, and I like to see all these bands rooting for one another and helping each other. And like if your ego steps out of line, people shut it down really quick.
Yeah.
That's been it's good as a dinosaur in this genre, and whatever I would be. It's cool to see that, and it's cool to see bands that deserve it, like A Few Too Many that start to get that recognition and all that. So I think that's definitely something that that Danny with that website has brought to the table, is just again this whole deal of like, hey, we're all in this together, guys. I mean, like, what's good for our band is good for the genre,
Definitely. Well, I'll drop a link in description, Danny. What is it? Is it Alternative Music Group now on Facebook, isn't it?
The Alternative Music Networking Group. We were the Pop Punk Networking Group, but obviously to try and sort of diversify, I felt like we were shutting out a lot of bands, and that
Some
seemed
that didn't
sad
fit.
because there's a lot of bands in this scene who wouldn't necessarily attach themselves to the tag pop punk, but they're still, they still grew up listening to the same bands that we did, and they still have a very similar sound. So I just kind of wanted to make it so that they could feel, included.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
Actually, jumping in on that, one of the bands we previously interviewed is Anson, or artist is Anson, and after we interviewed, a couple of weeks, he then just goes, being signed by Jaret's record label, and we were like, wait, what?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's a management thing, and we worked together for about 6 months, and then honestly, what happened with me, Anson is a rock star. That dude's gonna do
incredible, isn't he?
100%, just such a great kid, and he's not even really a kid. He looks so young, but he's just a great artist, and he's a great songwriter, and he's just a good person. But as with the COVID thing, really what happened with me was I just decided I wanted to downsize a little bit, as far as I got out of management altogether. So I had Not Your Girlfriends, and I had Anson, and I was working with a few other bands, just like mentoring and stuff. And man, I just decided I just want to focus on Bowling for Soup and my country stuff, and Jaret and Kelly and Jarinus. And so when I list all the stuff I'm still doing, you're like, Jesus Christ, podcast. When I say I downsized, I mean, like, I really just a few things off the top.
I was going to say, a little bit off the bottom terms, like Barber's terms, right?
But there are just a few things. I stopped auditioning for voice gigs because it's like I already have my dream job as Chuck E. Cheese over here in the States.
Yes.
I was on the #1 cartoon in the planet for so long, and it's like, so I've kind of already got that, and I'm in the world's greatest band as well, and so it's like I kind of already doing these things.
Yeah.
So I'm not directing videos anymore, and I'm those kind of things. But so the reason why I got off on that tangent is nothing against Anson. I just stopped managing, but not before making sure that he had a great agent, and he's got he's still on We Are Triumphant, and he's got some great stuff happening, but very, 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 very talented kid, man.
I mean, he was someone where found him on the group, and that was it's just one of the great things about being on this networking group, just finding bands that, as someone that just wants to be in the industry and network within the industry. I just got on my Spotify, like finding you guys after Someday was released. That was pretty epic, and then getting you guys on there, I was immensely chuffed to bits, because all I could bang on about how mental that song was, and how it was on repeat for about 5 weeks of my life non-stop.
Yeah.
Everyone of my mates just going like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, "You don't even need to ask." Someday, like, why are you listening to this track?
Yeah.
And then like just seeing people like Magnolia Park, Glimmers, and then chatting to everyone and just realizing how much the industry is just so cohesive. Like, it's just, and also hearing all these stories, which actually brings me on to a question for you, brought from one of my friends, Jaret. Download Festival a few years ago and a blow-up sheep. What happened?
So that's an ongoing thing that actually started many, many years ago. If I have this correct, it started in about 2007 when a blow-up sheep was just tossed on stage, and one of the small ones, like what you guys have at they buy them at bachelor parties and hen parties or whatever. Like they've got there's like a butthole, like you can I won't make any jokes against the Welsh because I don't want to
PG.
I don't want to alienate our Welsh friends,
I'm not saying it's the Welsh, it can be anyone.
It could be anyone, right? But no. But in all seriousness, this sheep came up, and we ended up just doing all this comedy with this thing, because a lot of what our show is improv, and it's with the audience or whatever. And this sheep flies up on stage. Well, it just so happens that a banana also flew up on stage, and so the banana ended up inside the sheep. And that made it into like all of the reviews of the show, right? That like Bowling for Soup took 5 minutes out of their 30-minute set to fuck the sheep with a banana.
That's amazing.
So what we did the next year, we came back, or there's a couple of years later, we came back and we had these 2 9-foot blow-up sheep, and so one on either side of the stage. And then the next time we came back, they had those again, but Chris tried to put his guitar inside one of them because they also had the butthole, and he actually popped it, and so he killed it.
Whoops.
And so then in 2014, Game of Thrones was really, really big and all that. We had the one left, so we had that one blown up on the side, and then we had a knight in shining armor come out and sacrifice the lamb. And
that's brilliant.
Yeah, so the thing is now we don't have any sheep left. So, but what's funny about that is that followed us around, to our own tours, where we would just be in the middle of a song and 3 of those sheep would just fly up on stage or whatever. We would line them up in front of the drums and stuff. And, just, it's funny how just a little bit of fun like that can just end up coming in. And again, it's those things, I think, that set us apart, that again, they get mentioned in your, like people are like, oh, they played songs too.
Yeah. Yeah, they actually did play music. Yeah.
You're a band? Did you not know this?
Yeah.
Not just on there to like impersonate sheep, we promise. I mean, speaking of like fun mascots, Danny, how is the dragon?
The Komodo dragon.
The Komodo pizza dragon, Danny.
So I feel like I have to explain this because Jared.
You do.
Like, what
you
the
very
fuck?
much do, don't you?
When we were last on here, our frontman Rob was talking about my kimono, except he had a bit of a faux pas and said Komodo instead. So I have a pizza kimono downstairs on my in my bathroom, which I decide to parade around every now and then.
Right.
And
Like your own little smoking jackets, you know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So now it's called a pizza Komodo.
Have you guys been? Have you been to Japan yet?
I've never been. I really want to go though.
I haven't.
You guys will, a few too many. You guys will for sure go. But when you get, everybody will embrace that shit. Like it's just one of those things where like you just get so immersed in because the culture is so different. Everybody comes back with a kimono. You take your shoes off at the door and shit. You know, like it's just
Amazing.
like, hey, I just act Japanese now. It's just one of those things that happens.
Nice. Just a quick one. Sorry, go on. No, go on, Tom. You go.
I was just going to say, for your shows now, we're going to have to get blow up Komodo dragons, by the way. Or
Yes,
either
we
that
are.
or pepperoni pizza.
Yeah.
Them on the stage.
Definitely. Let's do it, Tom. We'll go to every single one of their shows now and have to do that.
Beforehand and just get like some sort of pizza sewn on there in a jacket and be like, hey,
God,
Daddy, guess what? Dragon! Ah!
Brilliant. We got to do it.
Sounds like my wet dream. Go for it.
Brilliant. Just jumping on again, quick, Jaret. I went to see you back in, I think it was 2004. Your Get Happy tour, with Bowling for Soup. Sorry, your Bowling for Soup with Bloodhound Gang, Army of Freshmen, and I think there was another.
2007, and the other.
2007 was it?
That was Zebrahead was the other band.
That was it. Yes, yeah. So the main thing I remember clearly was so Bloodhound Gang had one of them had a cock ring.
Yeah.
And and your bassist sat on a speaker which was attached to his cock ring.
Yeah.
And pulled it across the stage.
Yeah, it was actually our guitar player Chris. And,
was it guitar player? Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, he got up on this road case and then he pulled that thing across the street. Now, a couple of things happened with that bit. First of all, he did end up with a slight hernia. After that.
God, did he really?
Yeah, Evil Jared did end up with a slight hernia because it was a bit faked. It wasn't by the cock ring. He would do that, but they would actually wrap the rope around his balls.
Okay.
And so then he would pull it that way so that, because that would have probably pulled his dick off. But anyway, he would do it, but he did get a slight hernia. But then we actually had a city spokesman come at one of the shows, and I had to make the decision because it's like they come to me. They're like, look, here's the deal. If Evil Jared pulls his dick out on stage, they're just going to arrest him because there's kids in the audience.
Yeah.
They're going to take him into custody on whatever the charge would be. Exposing yourself to 10,000 minors or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I just go, well, here's the thing. All we can do is warn him. But if it fucking happens, it happens. Right? So I'm like, let's just tell him. And if he argues the point, that what the fuck do I care? Like if he gets his dick out and gets arrested, like to me, that's on them. Like so. And he didn't end up doing it that night, which is actually probably for the best, because it would have probably been a nightmare, and those guys have been through enough. But that was a really, really good tour. Those guys were something else, that's for sure.
Yeah, they were put on a good show. Definitely, you all did. It was definitely, I think, probably my favourite gig I've ever been to. I can't remember where it was. I think it was Brixton Academy potentially. I can't remember now. One of those, one of the ones in London anyway. But
it was the Academy. It's the first time that we played there. We didn't sell it out. It took us another like 16 years to sell that place out, I think it was.
Yeah. Blimey. Yeah, but it was absolutely epic. It really was.
That's terrible math. It's not even 2023 yet. That's
no.
Not even...
Well, whatever. I'm not very good at maths either, so don't worry about it. It's fine. I wasn't even thinking that.
And for those listening in the future, in 2023, Jaret has not only filled it out once, but now 5 times.
Yeah. That's it.
He also knows math now.
Yes.
Yeah, I learned. Somehow in the last year and a half, he's learned math as a 50-year-old man.
He's learned all math. You can quiz him on that.
Yeah.
All of them.
There you go.
It won't be that. It won't be sheep that's chucked at you now. Next time you get that,
it'll be numbers. Well. Yeah, calculators and numbers.
It'll be an inflatable abacus.
Oh dear, that's
Jaret,
it.
Look, catch. It's a plus symbol.
Brilliant. Well, I'll tell you what, Tom. We've got to play Shot in the Dark with these guys. If you got it with you.
Of course I do, but I have more questions.
Come on then.
Questions.
Carry on.
My first question. Well, I have many, but I'm going to start with yourself, Danny. So I haven't really heard many covers from yourself, from Few Too Many. Are there any covers in the works? And if so, what covers would you guys love to do? Because I'm then going to fire it over to Bowling for the Soup over here with the question of what is your favorite cover that you've been, and is it 2 Tickets to Paradise or is it Stacey's Mum? That's my question to you. But Danny, let's start with yourself.
So obviously at the moment the cover that we've put out is the Sunflower one for Post Malone.
Wow, that's a great song. I haven't heard that. I gotta listen to that. That's fucking great.
Why are you gonna make me feel bad there? Restart that question.
And we do have plans to, like, when I was growing up, I used to listen to I think Punk Goes Pop, or is it Pop Goes Punk? It's one of the two.
Pop Goes Punk.
And I used to that's it. And I used to listen to that compilation every time it came out. So we definitely do have plans to do more. But we've been writing a lot recently, so we've been focusing on that. And obviously, we've been out on tour, and we just haven't really had the time to sort of sit down and focus on it. But we've definitely talked about it, and I'd like to do, something really sort of off color, not necessarily what you would expect, a pop punk band to cover. So something really sort of left field, maybe. I don't know.
Dido White Flags. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing Dido White Flags.
Yes, Dido White Flag.
Well, you should have done. You should have done Stay. Not many bands did that song, did they?
Yeah.
It was literally. I'll tell you, my new music releases on Spotify was, I think the top 20 were Stay covers.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like, well, literally, I was like, oh my god, is this all that's been released this week? I'm like, oh dear. But yeah, there you go. So to Jaret then, I think the same question. What's your favourite cover you've done?
And why is it 2 Tickets to Paradise or something?
Yeah, I love that you know that. The 2 Tickets to Paradise is actually a really interesting story. That was never going to be released. We did that for a movie of the same name called 2 Tickets to Paradise that came out, years and years ago. And the day Eddie Money passed away, I was like, that's got to exist somewhere. We've got to have that. It'd be cool to get that back out. Well, that cover was so old. We had recorded that to 2-inch tape. And it's crazy how long ago that was. So we managed to dig that thing up and put it out there, and did a cool little lyric video for it and all of that. And that definitely is up there. Man, I really like all of the stuff that we've been doing. I think I hate to say it because it wasn't my idea, but I do think our cover of Erase Me by Kid Cudi is pretty damn good. But you guys asked me earlier or said that we would talk at least a little bit about advice to up and coming bands, and you guys, the up and coming bands right now, you might not know this, but you can cover anything you want and put it on streaming services. Yeah. And you don't have to do anything. Spotify, YouTube, all of them do all of that accounting for you. The only time that it becomes an issue is if you start selling it. So as long as you're not selling that cover, you're basically exposing yourself to not only that who you're covering's fans, people who like the song, and your own fans or whatever. So we're in a really cool area right now, which is why Bowling for Soup's just been kicking it out, because it's all about building the streams. It's all about what my manager calls the toll booth. You just want people to walk through that toll booth of Spotify once a day. If you could get everybody that likes your band to do once a day, you'd be multimillionaire. You can't do that, but that's what your goal is like, man, if I can get them to walk through that with this cover song, then maybe they'll go, oh shit, that's the 1985 band, and then, or they did Almost or whatever, and and not to jump ahead, but as the topic is cover songs, I just recommend do awesome versions of songs, and as Danny said, things that are outside the box, things that people wouldn't expect you to do that make people go, oh shit, I didn't even realize I liked that song, until you guys did it. and put it out there and mean it and market it, and that will help build your streams. And it really will. It's
Definitely.
Anson is a great example of that. He's really good with the covers that he does.
Yeah, he's got some good covers. He definitely has. Jumping on to 1985, what made you want to cover that song like so quickly after it was released by SR71?
That's not really the story. I mean, it to be honest, we didn't really even know the history of the song. What we knew is that it was being sent to us and as a submission. So like, hey, this sounds like a song you guys would do. Turns out they had released it in Japan, but this is all pre-digital age, right? So it was like, okay, this exists over there on a CD, so this will be what we do. And we've been
kind of yours and
SR71 for a really long time.
Yeah.
The way that it came across my computer was very organic and cool, and so I was just like, I like this song, but I don't know that I love it. I don't really know, and it's pretty, if you listen to their version, it's very like lyrically it's pretty different as far as like where they are willing to go.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's just not something I would say. So if you're cool with me having my way with it, then
definitely.
We'll do it. So, again, people can call it a cover. That's fine. We call it a collaboration. And
cool.
So
fair enough. Yeah.
And so do SR71. But again, it doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
That people think it's a cover because fuck, who gives a shit, right?
I've never really thought what it is, because I say it was kind of around the same time the song came out, so that's why it's quite confusing as to, is it a cover, is it a collaboration, is it something? So I was never sure, but now I've met you, I've asked, and now I know.
Their version, again, in the world of 2004. Theirs would have been out in Japan, and ours would have been out here and in the UK, and all of that, and that would have been that. But now with the digital age, everything is global,
of course.
And so all of those things where it's like, because you got to think, man, I don't know how much you guys know about the B side or like what it was like for in the early 2000s as far as thing is concerned. But like we would do a 14-song album and we would record 22 songs. Because you had to give Walmart one, you had to give the UK 2, you had to give Japan 2, you had to give Australia 1, you had to give Target 1, Best Buy 1. And when I say give them one, that means that's an exclusive track for their release.
Yeah.
And that's the reason what they did that for us, because like in the UK, albums were more expensive. So to get them to buy the local release, you got 2 extra songs and not just get it imported from the US cheaper. And so that's to us, that's what 1985 was. For them was just this B-side on this thing that they had put out in Japan. It's like, you're never going to hear that over here, not that it really changed anything. I mean, they were done at that point, and here was this song that everybody but me thought was a hit, and I proved that I can't hear a hit. I do not have that ability.
I mean, you say you can't hear a hit, but I just went on Spotify. It's currently sitting at 210 million streams. So
is that it?
No, that's just I didn't think "Girl All the Bad Guys Want" was the best song on Drunk Enough to Dance. I really didn't. I thought "Emily" was a stronger song. I did. I thought "Almost" was a way better song than 1985. I really did. I just was like, that fucking song is So it's hard because they have, they're like babies. You like certain, you like. People like some of their kids better than their other kids.
Yeah.
But you love them all.
Brilliant.
Not going to ask my mum that, but, it's, we'll have to ask one day. Debbie, I guess to throw it to you, because Sunday was, as I think we talked about in our previous interview, was the reason, or one of the reasons you guys got signed, wasn't it? Did you ever think that was going to be as big as it was when you released it? Were you like, this is... Fair enough.
No.
To put it bluntly, no. It was one of the first tracks that we, like we had piano and we had other factors that we hadn't had on before, and I did feel like it was probably going to be one of the more sort of commercial on the EP, but it certainly wasn't the one that I pictured being the thing that would have got us signed or would have got us media attention or anything like that. In my mind, that was going to be history. But that's probably just because for me that was like my favorite, and I guess that's what it's all it's all about, is subjectivity. When the person listens to it, it depends on what their personal tastes are and what they like the most. And for me, history is kind of the sound that sort of encompasses where the band is at the moment. So I was thinking that's the one that's gonna sort of pop off, but obviously that it doesn't go like that.
I mean, either way, they're all hits. I was just looking. You guys are at 8,000 on Spotify. 8,000. I remember when I was chatting to you guys, you were like just under 1,000. And just to see you guys are like almost at 10, I'm like, gosh, man, you guys are like doing it freaking great.
Thank you.
And
guys, sorry, I've just got to pause it here. I've got a delivery of food. Hang on, I'm not going to eat it now.
A few moments later.
Hello, welcome to the video.
literally, it will be a Monty Python.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant.
It will be a Monty Python kind of video. What I was saying, but come with coconuts as well. Just be there like riding on.
Oh my god, yeah. Just have a wardrobe full of different props.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Start a sword
Outfit
fight
change.
with someone, lose all my limbs, and be like, all right, we'll call it a draw.
Yeah.
We'll just stand at the side and every 10 seconds be like, right, change outfit.
Just
Change
someone
out.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Brilliant.
as you're away, I asked if there was going to be a collaboration between
Yeah,
you two.
I did hear.
I will be the actor-actress.
Brilliant.
And so what we've confirmed is it's definitely going to happen at least in the next 6 years.
Yeah.
And so we're all looking forward to it. And it's a Punkio first. You all heard it here.
There you go.
I guess one question I do want to ask you both is, what do you think, by, of course, yourselves, are the standout artists currently? I say by yourselves because you're both standout artists, right? Not to like play, smoke up there, but you're both fucking awesome.
I mean, look, I gotta give a shout. I mean, obviously, I know they're already huge, but you got to give a shout to All Time Low, who are still on top of the world right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
they're fucking writing hit songs, man, and
Yeah, they are.
It's that's just not. It's not. One of the worst people in the industry I ever met told me the greatest thing ever, and it's that hits don't grow on trees, and it's fucking true. And All Time Low are killing, so you got to give them a shout. I love a band called Don't Panic, and it's not just because brother is in the band, but
oh really? Okay, yeah.
I love their songs, and I just think that they're onto something.
Yeah, I played them on, I think, probably my second or third Punkio, when it was Punkio podcast actually.
Good.
I remember.
Yeah.
Ted is an awesome guy.
Yeah. A Few Too Many.
Yeah, they're good actually.
Thank you.
Not bad. They're all right.
I've heard they're a bit unhealthy.
No, that's history.
A great band, but also a fucking great band name too. That just goes
Yes.
right along with Bowling for Soup's.
It is. Yeah.
And you know how it came
Brilliant.
about? Whiskey.
Brilliant.
That's how my children got here.
Brilliant. Love that. I tell you, for I'm gonna go for me as well, Tom, and I think for you as well. You can do.
Yeah.
So I think for me, a massive standout artist at the moment is a guy called Dustin, and he's goes under the name of Two Eyes Open. I think you heard his track, Jaret, called Haunt. Honestly, he is insane. His work ethic is I've never seen anything like it in my life, and he knows exactly what he wants, and he's really going for it, and he's bloody incredible. He really is.
Yeah, I
definitely check him out.
I will for sure. I like that band Stand Atlantic. I like that
Yes.
band.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're good.
Great.
And then obviously again, I'm gonna go another number, and the same number is 2 Year Break. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that band.
Yeah.
They'll so 3 days now. They're bringing out their album. Oh my god, I can't wait! I'm so excited.
They're doing a live stream tonight as well. It's a band that I met when I was in London, and I went to go and see a band called As December Falls, and they were supporting, and it just turned out I became really good mates with them, and then just as lockdown progressed, they've released better music.
Banger after banger after banger.
And then just recently they got a collab with Charlie Simpson from Busters / Fight Star.
They
which
did.
is freaking
Not bad. Yeah.
It is a bit of a weird video, I must say.
It is a bit. It's brilliant, though.
Eating Cheerios and trying to feed them to a cutout of Charlie Simpson is something that's going to sit rent-free in my mind and not for
Have you never seen a Dave Days video? He used to do that with the
with the
Miley cutout.
Yes.
Try and, feed her.
Oh my god. Maybe that's their influence.
Yeah, maybe.
And just to kind of shout out to a couple of other bands. Magnolia Park currently absolutely killing it. I love the fact that they teamed up with Callum Quinn. I still can't get over anyone who gets a collab with him because huge Sleeping with Sirens fan. Of course, you guys as well, because I genuinely love A Few Too Many. Someday is still one of the bangers, just up there with other big artists and big bands that just produce bangers. As Jaret said, hits don't come on trees, and just you could create a hit that just goes out the park, and that's it. That's what I wouldn't say defines you, but becomes the sound of your band, and in a way, that's what I now associate A Few Too Many with. Is just this amazing guitar riff.
Thank you.
And just bands like As December Falls, Two Eyes Open,
Glimmers.
We had
Glimmers are fantastic. Yeah.
You guys should give a shout to Neck Deep, who a band from the UK that fucking broke the US. That does not happen a lot.
No.
And they've done it, and they're doing great. That's
I love them.
Yeah, another. That's one of those bands where you just got to be like that. See, to me, it's like that. They're flying that flag, and it helps everybody. All of us.
Yeah.
I've got a great story about Neck Deep, and this is because I went to go and see them twice in the same tour with it. They were supporting A Day to Remember's Bad Vibrations tour.
Oh,
and
I think I was there. That was one hell of a show.
It was great. So I went to Cardiff, and then with another mate, I went to the Birmingham show. And at the Birmingham show, they stopped their set halfway through an acoustic track, looked at two guys and went, "Oi, you two dickheads, all right? Stop fucking moshing. This is an acoustic track, all right? Kiss, make up. Good. We'll carry on."
Brilliant.
That's amazing.
I love that, and that's what I remember, bar the fact that, of course, A Day to Remember shouting, "Guys, we were told not to crowd surf, but fuck that. You guys are going to crowd surf the crowd surfers. Let's fucking go." It's just
brilliant.
I love this. I love this so much. And just seeing people being crowd surf was fantastic. But Neck Deep, one of the best bands I've heard live. And I still can't get over how amazing they just went from Life's Not Out to Get You to Everything Within Blooms, and then currently what they have at the moment. It's just fantastic. They've evolved into something. I would almost put them on the same plateau as All Time Low for me.
Definitely.
And that's just incredible to think.
Well, I think another one for me, and I think a prediction for them to break the US in the future is a band called Slacker. I had them on the show, and they, by that time, so this was March, I think. Was it before that? It might have been before that. I think it was, because it was on before you, wasn't it, Tom? So I think it was actually, it was late last year. And they played 260 shows or something in the last 2 years, or last year and a half. I mean, it was just mental what they did, and I think
that's kind of ironic for a band called Slacker.
Slacker, yeah, it is massively. They definitely don't slack at all. They're always on tour, always releasing music. Well, not releasing music, mainly releasing a bit of music, touring for a long time, and then releasing some awesome bangers. Definitely check them out, Jaret. They are, I think they're gonna break the US. I really do. If they don't, I'll be disappointed.
If you don't, I'm going to come back to this 8 years later and be like, so Jaret didn't actually get the math in time in the end.
No.
We didn't get blow-up abacuses. We never got the dinosaurs for A Few Too Many. And quite frankly, we're still waiting for everyone to rave with Nirvana, and there was U2 and Blood. Sorry, 1985. It keeps happening. It just goes into my daily life.
Terrible.
Oh.
Well, there we go. Well, come on, Tom. We need to play a Shot in the Dark, I think. Do we need to explain to these guys what it is?
I will explain. So Shot in the Dark is a game I bought because myself and my other half, we are in a long-distance relationship. I think she enjoys it more than I do. But it's a quiz game. The idea being that these questions are questions that are so obscure, you kind of don't really know the answer to, and they're really fucking random. For example, how many liters of vodka does the average Russian person drink each year? That's the question on the back of the pack. So
Wow.
the first question, I'm going to try and do a compilation of a few because we found out when we did this recently that there's some controversial questions that I don't really want to ask on an interview. And I'll kind of do the answers one by one.
Just do 5, Tom. Do 1 round because took a long time last time.
I was going to say, yeah. The first question. So Usain Bolt's 100-meter world record is 9.58 seconds. That is really fast. How quickly can a cheetah run 100 meters? I have no fucking clue, if I'm honest. See, it's just completely fucking random.
I'm gonna say 4 seconds.
That's fucking random, man.
I'm gonna say
7.
5.2.
6.
That's very specific, Tim.
Yeah.
6 point. For the lols, 6.9. It was 5.95, yeah, which is 40% faster than Usain Bolt. Who came close to that?
Oh wow.
What was it?
5.95.
I think it was me, wasn't it?
What did you say? 5.2.
5.2.
Congratulations, Tim!
Yeah.
You win the first question. Yeah.
Yes, I'm good at this. I tell you, I won last time as well.
Next question: what is the Church of England's annual income?
Oh Jesus. Literally. I don't know.
Brilliant.
Unintentional
Jesus.
puns are the best puns.
Jesus. That is it. That's my answer. Jesus. I really don't know.
Too much money? I don't know.
No, a few too many. I'm going to say 1 million.
1
I feel like
million.
Wow.
Well, it's an annual income, so 1 million. Could be 0. It could be like, oh, they're a charity, so you know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go 2 billion.
Oh, good numbers. Good.
I was
numbers.
thinking billions as well. I really was. Oof. What do I want to do?
Wouldn't
I'm going to
you?
go higher. Let's go 3.72 billion.
That's a lot of billions.
Yeah.
10
You know
million.
what? All right.
Wow.
Jared's right with this one. It's 1.5 billion. So Jared,
Wow.
well done. Congratulations.
There we
That's
go.
1-1.
And he's not even English. Woohoo.
Church is big business over here in this country, so I just assumed that.
Yeah.
Turns out it's
Yeah.
big business over here.
Yeah.
How many bubbles are there in the average glass of champagne? Because someone's counted this. And right now, if you're not visualizing a flute with champagne in it and going, crap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm doing that. I'm going to say 16,000 and 412.
I'm not going that much. I'd say... I want to say like 764.
7 bubbles.
Yeah, 764 is my answer.
All the bubbles, even the ones like floating to the top, like okay, shit.
All the
Yeah.
bubbles.
Okay, yeah, there's probably more.
I'm
No,
probably gonna get
I go with my original answer.
12,000. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 10,000.
I went 16,000.
Wow, and I went 764. Bloody hell!
I'm closest, but literally, like, so far off. It's about 1 million according to the Journal of
Oh, wow.
Chemistry. So that's 1 apiece for all of us. Danny, you suck.
Oh dear.
How tall is Mount Everest? I'm going to say 34,000.
62,000. 62,000 for me.
62,000 feet?
I don't know. That's
Don't
just
question
bloody...
it. Don't question it. All right, you want the points.
I don't
That's
know.
a good answer, Tim. That's a very good.
That's like 12 miles.
Is it? I don't know. I really don't.
You can't change your answer now.
No, it's fine. I'm going to keep that.
I mean, maybe it is that though. Maybe it is. I was gonna say more like, I would say, maybe it is that, because it takes like 4 days to climb it, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's probably pretty good. Okay, you convinced me. I'm gonna go 35,000 feet.
How much? Sorry.
I'm gonna go. Wait. Okay, hold on. Wait, I want to rationalize this for you guys, but I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna back my answer down. I'm gonna go 20,000 feet.
Okay.
Wow.
So I'm currently the middle mountain at the moment. That's fine. I don't mind that.
Go on, Danny.
15,000.
15.
Oh, 15, 20, 32,412, and 62,000. 29,000 feet. I would argue on closest there, but technically, it's if we want to play the rounding up, we can have half a point. Let's share a point, me and you, Jared.
How I got there though is like if you think about it, like a plane flies at 30,000 feet.
This is true.
This is what I was thinking.
I didn't think of that.
You can see that mountain sticking up out of the cloud, so it would have to be somewhere around there. So, and right there it was.
There you go.
And final question.
How much did you say again, Tim? Like
62,000.
Yeah.
Slightly out.
Oh, so you're going towards space then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's Mount Everest in a few years' time when it starts to grow. So.
Exactly. You're a future thinker. You're a future thinker, Tim.
Exactly.
That's what you are, future thinking.
Yeah, that's it.
Final question. In which year was the printing press invented? Which year was the printing press invented?
I'm going to wait for someone else to answer.
1802?
1802?
1802.
You're going 1802?
Maybe? I don't know. 1750. That's my final answer, I think.
1690.
I don't know.
Great answer.
How about BC?
Yeah.
One BC.
That's what I'm secretly doing in my mind. I'm just switching it over to BC.
I
get the answer.
I'm waiting for Jaret now to see what he says, and then I'm going to answer.
Depends what you count.
I'm kind of reasoning through this again. But I'm going to go 1830.
See, I was going more kind of 1880, so I'm going to say 1886.
1440 AD. Danny, you win it.
What?
Danny,
1440? Jesus Christ. Was that a stone or something they just pressed shit down with?
I was literally just wondering if like cavemen invented printed press and they
maybe
had, like, a tablet and like
dear.
a flint and then they carved, the news into it or something.
Wow.
So after 5 questions, it's 1 apiece, except me and Jaret now share 1.5, which is something I'm now going to say to all my friends, that I share something with Jaret from Bowling for Sleep. And they won't believe that. No one can ever replace that.
That will literally get you nowhere in life, but
I know, but it will get me wins in my life.
There you go.
That's great.
Brownie points.
Amazing.
Exactly. That's what we get in the UK. Brownie points. They're not really cash
No, just random points. Awesome. Right. Well, I think I want to finish on a question for you, Jaret. What tips would you give to kind of smaller bands coming up now? Kind of how to get heard. I mean, it's very different, obviously, to when you started. But what would you say?
It's very hard because I know bands want to get out there and bands want to tour, and when I was coming up, that's what we did. And you just got out there and that's how you got exposure. But man, it's all about content now. It's, you should tour if there's going to be people there, but don't spend your money and go play to nobody.
Yeah.
Instead, spend that money on creating more content, recording more, doing videos, making sure that your all of your social media stuff is up to date. Comment on your comments. Respond back to people on Instagram. That's how you build a fan base now. It's a completely different world than the dream of like getting in the van and going on a tour. Maybe that'll happen again someday. I don't think it will, because discovery is all about the internet now. And
definitely.
And when we were kids, there'd be 5 bands at every single bar, and you'd go in and out, and that's how you found bands. It just doesn't look like that anymore. Now it's all about discovery and Danny's networking is meeting other bands, doing collaborations, doing posts for other bands in exchange for them doing a post for you is that's the new, like, hey, we'll get you a show in Dallas, get us one in Phoenix, kind of thing. Definitely. So I know, especially the more artistic of the bands out there hate it, but that's just what the job is now, man. You still got to be good, and you still got to rehearse. you got to have your shit together, but you got to build that social media presence, and it's just content.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
What was the Tom? Was the band that one song released and got signed to Slam Dunk? What were they called again?
Oh, For You the Moon. That was it.
That's it. Yeah. So they released this epic, like very well produced track, and they got signed straight away because it was so good. They obviously spent money on this track. They spent money on releasing it, on promoting it, and everything, and they just did it.
Yeah, they were quite fortunate as well because of COVID and bands dropping out as well. They managed to actually feature on Slam Dunk on it was the Key Club stage or something like that. So massive shout out to them. They've done really, really well, and
They have.
full on credit. They're like a British punk / pop punk / indie band, and the 3 tracks that they've got out at the moment are I think it's 645, Lost Without It, and my personal favorite, which is the one that I recommend all my mates to listen to, is Talk. Because it just is. For a band that size, I was surprised at how little they had in terms of following. And then you heard Talk, and it was just like, this doesn't match the numbers. This is incredibly well produced. And it's still one of my favorites. It's like with Someday as well. It's just one of those songs that just sticks. And it's just like, this is a top tier fucking hit.
Definitely.
So yeah, definitely want to check out From You the Moon. It was inspired by, I think, Bruce Almighty or something like that.
Yeah.
We interviewed them, and they're freaking
Brilliant.
epic guys. But yeah, I guess this is it now. I guess we say thank you, and I can't believe that I've actually managed to interview both Danny again from View Too Many. Now he's officially famous.
Yeah.
And, I'm waiting for the merch, and I'm waiting for the autograph. So
yes.
hit me up, please. Thank you.
Yes, send it over. Awesome. Well, yeah, massive thanks for coming on, Jaret and Danny. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. And I'm sure this isn't the last time we'll chat and meet and whatever. We'll collab in the future, hopefully, I'm sure. And there we go. Take care, guys. Speak soon.
And yeah,
all right, you guys.
Best of successes because you are.
Thank you, guys.
1, 2, 3, go!